that said, you know, here's how we're going to zone the schools, here's where the kids from this neighborhood will go to school, you know, here's where this school will be built. An incredibly complicated plan. I mean, it's this thick when you look at it. And finally went back to the court last January. And a year ago, in fact, almost to the day, went back to the court, and Judge Wiseman said, looks like you have it worked out. Now I'm going to give you 6 months to get it funded. You have to the end of June. So we went to the council, and we went to the community, and we said, look, we've got this thing worked out, and the biggest thing about it, the thing that's really going to please the most people is this business of busing kids clear across town because federal court said so is about to end. And it was a long fight, and it was a narrow victory. But the council we had until June the 30th to get this thing approved, the funding. 28th of June, the council approved funding. They said, go ahead and do it. Approved it by 1 vote.
And so you've got all of the funding necessary, all of the funding that you require for this project.
Got the funding lined up. A slight tax increase, not to directly pay for the construction, but to pay for the bonds that would build these buildings, much like you make a house payment. So in September, late September, we went back to federal court with the plans and said, look, we've got a plan, we've got it funded, we're poised to put this thing into action. Will you please release us from the court order, make us unitary, and let us go our own way? And the judge said yes, and the judge was in tears, and our director of schools, Dr. Wise, was in tears. The chair of the school board was crying. It was the most. I've been in a lot of federal courts in my years as a reporter, and I've never seen people get that emotional.
It was an emotional kind of thing after all these years of struggling and worrying and fretting over the
After more than 40 years to finally say, you're released from this court order and you can go your own way. That's where we are now. And we are looking at, the board, as we speak, is looking at some potential zoning plans for this fall that would start making changes this fall, August of 1999, and start sending kids to school closer to home.
Well, I think what most people are concerned about in reference to that is that to make sure that you don't develop